Hi guys, welcome again to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Faith Martins. How have you guys been? So today is, I don't know call today's date, but it's actually like a real-time video, and today I'm going to be talking about how I got into trouble and my license got seized, my car was impounded, and I was a suspended driver in Canada. How it all happened, how it all happened. On this fateful evening in December, I was driving to the pharmacy because I just realized I was not feeling too well. Not like I just realized. I was so cold, I was coughing, I was having mad headache, and I was working like multiple hours. And so at that point, I'm like, okay, I need to take medication so I can sleep. So I can feel better and sleep. So I went to the pharmacy and I was watching this church program. On my way back, I was distracted by this church program. I don't want to say what I was doing exactly because this case has gone to the court, and there's been a court ruling on the case already. And it has actually been closed. There's another case I have in the court, but I'm going to have my court ruling in a few months. It's still in connection with this case, but it's still like a separate case. But this particular issue has been dissolved, so I don't talk about what happened, what I did. But then I just looked up and I saw cars flashing light, and I'm like, this must be the police trying to stop me. Just my intuition telling me that it must be the police trying to stop me. And so I'm a good driver. I gave my hazard light to the right, and then I parked. I pulled over, I parked, and then at that point, I didn't know what to think of. So that was my first experience with police stopping me in Canada. And so I came down from my car and I went to the police, and they said, go back into your car, we'll meet you. First off, whenever you're pulled over by the police, do not come down from your car, because at that point, they're assessing your plate number, they're assessing your driving history. There are a lot of things going on in their car, and then they'll come meet you. So when they came to meet me, they told me my offense. They asked for my car documents. I gave them. They asked for some questions. I told them. They did some examination on my car and told me my offense. And then they gave me a ticket. And I looked into this ticket. I actually had 2 tickets. And I looked into this ticket and I saw $715. Back home where I come from, when you're being pulled over by the police, if you're given a ticket, like last month, giving what do they call it, ticket in Nigeria? I don't know what they call it, but when you're giving like a ticket, you're just going to pay it and then your problems are over. But I didn't know that in Canada, if they give you a ticket and you accept to pay the ticket, you've accepted your crime, and then there are so many punishments associated with paying that ticket. I had no idea. I was so sad, so scared. I went home. I was just thinking, what do I do at this stage? And this was happening at about past 10 in the night. That was like 4 a.m. Nigeria time, and it's not like I can call my family and they can relate to giving tickets in Canada to provide me with a solution. And I don't have a partner here. I don't have somebody I can call and say, oh, see what I'm going through, and we jam heads together. So I was like, okay, I think I need to pay this ticket. And they told me, oh, I could go to the court. But where I come from in Nigeria, when you hear of court, it's a very big deal. It is a very, very big deal. And so I'm like, I'm alone in this country. I don't want to be going through stress. I don't want to be going to court. I don't want it to affect my mental health in a short or long term. And so I resolved, hope you guys ignore my big stomach. And so I resolved to paying that ticket. That was how I paid the ticket. A friend of mine came through, gave me an old friend of mine gave me $150. One gave me $50 or $100. So just I told them what I was going through, my female friends, they are very inexperienced, and so they did not have any contribution for me. And so I paid this ticket. 2 days later, I remember the friend of mine that works in a top position in Canada, and I called him, and he's like, oh, you don't pay the ticket, you should go to court. But since you've paid the ticket, he doesn't know, let's just watch out and see what's next. I didn't get to hear from the police. I didn't get to hear anything. And this happened on the 14th day of December 2024. And so I was driving and feeling like a free man, going about my business. Up until the 1st day of January 2025, this year. I just finished a shift. That was the video you saw. I'm just going to give you a backstory explanation. This is a backstory explanation. I just finished a shift and I was heading to I was already home to sleep before I go for my next shift. I was in about 3 hours. And so I got pulled over. And then they told me that hi, that I'm actually a suspended driver and I'm driving, and I'm like, excuse you, who suspended me? And they say from their record they can see. I say I'm not maybe there's a mistake, maybe there's an error. I am not a suspended driver. I did not get an email. I did not even get a mail. So how am I a suspended driver? And they're like, okay, let's confirm from the records. And they go back into their car. They did confirmation, because you cannot just accost somebody and accuse me of being a suspended driver. And so they did check their records again, and they came back to me that you're actually a suspended driver. And I'm like, how? They're like, I'm so sorry, you cannot move your car from here. We have to take your car with us. And I'm like, excuse you. They said they're going to impound my car. And I'm like, okay, for how long will this car be impounded? They said, well, the minimum is 7 days. And then after 7 days, I can go pick up my car. But they're going to seize my license. And because I'm a suspended driver, I'll have to go reinstate my license after 30 days. I was so... At that point, I didn't know what to say again. Before I could say Jack, the towing van was ready. You guys, if you looked at that video, you see the towing van passing. And then the towing van passed, and I'm like, okay, where do I go from here? What do I do from now? And so that was how I picked the stuff in my car. I requested an Uber, and I headed straight to my house to drop my properties. And then I picked an Uber and went to work. When I got to work, I had to open up to a colleague of mine because I was so down, I was so disorganized at work, but I couldn't talk. I had to open up to a Ghanaian colleague of mine. And he said, oh, Faith, you're a student. This is the first time this is happening to you. Go to the court. The court is not a big deal here. Go there and explain to them what's happening. They're going to do something about it. So I went to the court. Okay, that day, that day that they gave me that ticket, they impounded my car. They now gave me another ticket, another card, that I have a court date, April 2nd. I thought I missed the date. I have a court date, April 2nd, for driving under suspension. And I'm like, I didn't even know I was suspended. Well, I took the yellow paper they gave me. And then she said, oh, that I should first take my ticket and I should go to the court. And I should tell the court that I want a trial, that I made a mistake by paying that fine, because that was the fine that brought all of my problems. And so I did as she told me. I went to the court. She told me, oh, I'm so sorry. As you've paid to the court, you're no longer in this level, you're no longer in that level of the court. I was no longer in the low category of the court. My case had been taken to a higher court because I paid. And so I went to the higher court, and then they gave me a document to take to the higher court. I wrote some things like explanation and the rest. They gave me a document to take to the higher court. I went to the higher court, and then they now validated the stuff and told me and gave me a date for an appointment to the lower court, that the case will be transferred to the lower court and I should go there on this day. And I said, okay. And they said I need to meet a prosecutor. They gave me the address of a prosecutor. I went there, and then they filed my stuff, and then I don't know, like electronically went to the prosecutor, and then I went back to the lower court. Hold on, I've just got a message. Oh, a shift. Let me pick this shift. Give me a second. So I got them. Oh, so Mary, I'm actually working on this day, but let me just pick it. Okay, Friday I'm not working. That's tomorrow. It's today, okay, today is Thursday. Sorry for the distraction. So I went to the lower court, and that was just basically it. On the day of on the day of the court, I went to the court. I met with my prosecutor, and I was like, hi, are you Faith Martins? I said, yes. He said, okay, see your case, see what we are going to go tell the judge. And then, I know you've paid, but if you're okay and we tell the judge, okay, we are going to tell the judge that we want to bring this case to the lower court. And are you fine with it? And then they'll schedule it. And I said, yes. This is higher court. Sorry, this is higher court. Like, it was not electronically transferred. They just gave me a prosecutor, so we'll go to the court, and they'll bring it to the lower court. So they fixed the court date. I went to the court. I don't think I still have those videos. I'll leave it on the screen if it's available. I went to the court, and we brought the case from I met the judge, and then my prosecutor spoke. The prosecutor spoke, and then the judge asked me if this is what I want. I accepted, and then they brought the case to the lower court. In the lower court, they gave me another date. That was like a month later. And so I went to the lower court a month later. I was still in school. Oh, this is first semester this year. I was going to school and going to court. It was not, and I didn't have a car at that point. They had seized my car, so I was jumping Uber. It was not easy. God saw me through. So I went to the lower court on the day of the lower court, and then I met with the prosecutor and I explained how it happened, and it was not even what they thought it was. And the guy said, even if you just did your hand like this, it's an error. So no matter what, you have a case. And so I'm going to advise you, let it be this way. And I said, okay, what are the consequences of it being this way? And he told me the consequences. Yeah, my demerit point will still remain, like 2 demerit point and 3 demerit point that will remain. But the money is going to come down. And then it might not affect my insurance as it would have affected my insurance if it was that way. Because in Canada, if you have a driving mistake, or if you did anything that is against the driving pattern, that is detrimental, not like just small things, it's going to affect your insurance. When your current insurance contract expires, when you want to get another insurance, it's going to go up. And so he just told me the stuff that he told me, and I'm like, okay, I accept. And so we went to the judge, and then they asked me, okay. They spoke with other people, and when it got to my turn, he said what he said. The judge asked me. I said, no, I don't understand what you just said, because that's not what I did. I said, oh, if you don't accept this is what you're trying to plead for. If you don't accept it, man, she might have to, like, I said, okay. She actually explained, not like I was under duress. I was not under duress. She explained, and then I had to accept it. And then the fine was reduced from $715 to $400 and something. And she asked me how long it was going to take me to pay it, and I said 90 days. But remember that I have already paid this money, so I was just saying it for saying sake. And so the prosecutor told me that I should not worry, the money will be reversed from Service Ontario. And I'm like, okay, no problem. If you ask me, was the money reversed, I don't know, because I don't even know if I paid through my debit or my credit card. I don't know how I paid that money. And so, was it reversed? I don't know. I think it was my credit card. Was it my credit card I used? Yeah, I used my credit card. So I don't even know. Like, I've checked my credit card. I don't even see any credit of that amount. And I cannot go fight them. So someone said it has dropped that I will not notice. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. And so that was how that case ended. The second case I'm going to have in a few months is driving under suspension. Remember, I did not even know I was suspended. No mail was sent to my mailbox. I did not receive an email. So there was no way for me to know I was suspended. I'm new in Canada. And I didn't know that, okay, once you pay your ticket, you'll be given 30-day suspension. Let me even gist you guys. How do I even now validate the suspension? So my car at that point, I did not know that when you buy your car and you do the documentation stuff, you will take it to Service Ontario, and then they will now... You take your safety certificate to Service Ontario, and they will now give you your license. It will not now show... what was that thing it was showing before? I can't find it. It will not show like it's your certified license. I did not know. So how did they stop me? They told me, I need to go and do my safety again. That first time they stopped me, so I did my safety. So they told me the procedure. I took my safety to Service Ontario. It was Service Ontario that now told me that I'm a suspended driver, but I've not come to write a letter to them, so it has not started counting. And at this point, I spent 6 days thinking I spent 6 days out of my 30-day suspension. That's how they now told me I have to write a letter. They showed me the template. I wrote a letter to them, and that was how I was able to start my suspension. So God be the glory. After 7 days of my car being impounded, I called a friend of mine, Peter Bomba. Thank you so much. He's currently in Nova Scotia, but he knows I care. And I'm so grateful, Peter. I'm so grateful. We might be far away, like we might be miles away, but you know that I'm so grateful for your help. And so I called up Peter Bomba, and I'm like, guys, see you, I've come to collect my car, and I need someone that has a G2 license or a G license to pick up this car. I can no longer drive because my license has been suspended. He's aware of all of the story anyways. This guy came all the way from Cambridge, about 27 minutes drive, to where they impounded my vehicle. I paid a total of almost $300 or $315. I don't remember how much I paid. No, $99. I don't know how much I paid. And then I got my car back. And then after 30 days, I paid about $285 or so to get my license back, and that is how I returned back to being a licensed Canada driver, but with a little dent to my driving. So I know my insurance might go up on next I'm renewing my contract, but by then I heard that I would scout for insurance and get the best deal. So until then, I think this is how I got into trouble with the authorities. Like, this is my story, and I'm begging everyone, when you start driving in Canada, be extremely careful. You can never know it all. You are not perfect. I'm actually parked making this video, so I'm not going against anybody's law, and I'm making it in my Osmo camera, so I'm not going anybody's law. So I just advise, like, just be extremely careful when you start driving in Canada. You never know. You never. And I've seen friends that have had tickets upon tickets, but not like the kind of ticket I had. I've never had it. Oh, jeez, I've never had a speeding ticket. I've never had a reckless driving ticket. But like, I think this was a wake-up call for me to limit the way I behave while driving in that aspect. I didn't want to like review because it has ended in the court. I no need to like bring up rubbish that has ended. So I think that is all. I'm so hungry and I need to go to school to read. I'm preparing for an examination, a national examination in Ontario. Wish me well, guys. That is all. I'll talk to you guys in another video. My name is Faith Matters, and I love you. Mwah.